갈게요. 조금 빨리 갈게요.
저녁 저 공식 행사 아닌가요?
On the morning of September 30th, 2025, the atmosphere at Incheon International Airport was different than usual. Beneath the hustle and bustle of an airport often filled with public figures, a moment awaited by millions of eyes around the world was unfolding. Park Jimin, the much-missed member of BTS, finally made his first public appearance since completing his mandatory military service last June. His destination was clear: Paris. The world's fashion capital would witness Jimin's return to the global spotlight when he attended Christian Dior's Spring/Summer 2026 Women's Ready-to-Wear show on October 1st. As Dior's global ambassador since 2023, his presence was more than a formality, but a symbol of the strong relationship between a K-pop superstar and the legendary luxury fashion house with its French roots. Jimin's arrival at the airport was immediately greeted by cheers from fans and flashes of media cameras. With his new blonde hair shimmering under the airport lights, Jimin strode through the terminal with a confident yet warm aura. He wore elegant casual attire, a signature blend of simplicity and high fashion that has always been his trademark. Furthermore, his gentle gaze and smile seemed enough to soothe the longing armies who had only seen him in official military portraits for nearly 2 years. For many, this wasn't just a departure for Paris. It marked a new era for Park Jimin. Since enlisting in the military, he had barely appeared in public except for a few short messages and simple posts on BTS's official platforms. That longing intensified as Jimin's name continued to be touted as a key figure in the fashion world after he was appointed the global face of Dior. And now, that longing had finally been satisfied. That morning, Incheon Airport seemed to have transformed into an impromptu catwalk. Fans crowded the arrivals area since dawn, carrying banners, cameras, and even flowers dedicated to welcoming their idol back. Many of them wept with emotion, watching Jimin step out in public again, not in military uniform, but with the charm of a world star. "Welcome back, Jimin," shouted one army, followed by thunderous cheers. Despite his busy schedule, Jimin still took the time to greet everyone briefly. He waved, bowed slightly, and even exchanged a few words with reporters crowded around the terminal. His voice was calm and full of gratitude, though it was clear he was keeping his words concise. That warmth was enough to set off an online explosion. Within minutes, hashtags related to Jimin and Dior topped the trending topics on Twitter, Weibo, and Instagram. This departure also underscored the importance of Jimin's position on the global stage. Dior is more than just a brand, but a symbol of prestige, and having Jimin as an ambassador strengthens its cross-cultural appeal. When he was first appointed in January 2023, the fashion world was surprised by the immense influence of a K-pop idol who had penetrated the exclusivity of the French fashion industry. Now, 2 years later, the partnership appears even more solid. His presence in Paris is seen as a strategic move by Dior to solidify its dominance in the Asian and global markets as a whole. But beyond all that, the moment was also fraught with emotional significance. For ARMY, seeing Jimin smile freely again after completing his military service was a priceless gift. They know it wasn't an easy time for an artist of Jimin's caliber. Living under military discipline, away from the stage, away from fans, was a huge test of patience. But now, all those sacrifices felt rewarded as he reappeared with an even stronger radiance than before. The fashion world seemed eagerly awaiting his arrival. Many international magazines, such as Vogue, Elle, and Harper's Bazaar, had prepared special coverage of Jimin at Paris Fashion Week. Even before he left, rumors were circulating that his front-row seat at the Dior show was one of the most sought after by journalists and influencers. His presence was considered capable of capturing attention on par with, or even surpassing, Hollywood stars and other renowned fashion icons. This wasn't Jimin's first time attending a Dior event, but this time felt different. Previously, he arrived as an idol at the peak of his popularity with BTS. Now, he arrived with a new narrative, an artist returning from military service, bringing with him a more mature spirit and energy. Many speculate that this appearance will mark a new phase in her solo career, both in the world of music and fashion. First impressions at the airport clearly showed that Jimin hadn't lost any of his charm. On the contrary, he seemed to have matured. His choice of blonde hair wasn't without reason. The color is often associated with boldness, renewal, and glamour. It was as if he wanted to emphasize that he was ready to enter the global stage once again with confidence. Korean media reported that security at the airport had been increased to ensure Jimin's safety. Despite this, he remained relaxed, even stopping several times to look at fans' cameras. Every small movement, from brushing back hair that fell on his forehead to waving, instantly became a hot topic of conversation. It didn't take long for Jimin's airport photos to spread around the world. From Korean media outlets to European and American fashion news portals, everyone raced to report on the superstar's return. Public comment was varied, with many praising his effortlessly classy appearance and his unmatched charisma. Behind the commotion, there was also a human side that made Jimin's moment even more touching. He arrived not only as a global symbol, but also as someone who was rekindling his connection with his fans. As he waved goodbye, many felt as if Jimin were silently saying, "I'm back. I missed you." The next day in Paris would be the highlight of the trip. Dior had set up a grand stage to unveil its latest collection, and Jimin's presence was sure to be the center of attention. Many were eagerly anticipating how he would appear in the front row, what he would wear, and how he would interact with other fashion figures. One thing was certain: Jimin's departure from Incheon was more than just a trip to a fashion event. It was the return of an artist to the world stage, bringing new hope, new stories, and a growing love for himself and his millions of fans worldwide. Paris would bear witness, but Incheon had already made history. Park Jimin, with his unfading smile, was back. And the world was ready to welcome him once again. Jimin's arrival in Incheon that morning was only the beginning of a new chapter he would continue to write. From the airport hallway to the Paris catwalk, his small steps carried great meaning for those who waited. He's not just a K-pop star, nor just the face of Dior. He's a symbol of hope, dedication, and love that can bridge the gap between cultures, languages, and even time. Now, after a quiet time behind a military uniform, Jimin returns with an even brighter light. He stands not only as a global artist, but also as a human being who has grown, evolved, and is ready to give more. Paris may be the first stage after his return, but the hearts of millions of fans know that this journey has only just begun. And like every comforting smile of his, Jimin once again proves, even when time separates, true love always finds its way back. The world awaits his next move, but one thing is certain: Park Jimin is back, and he's brighter than ever.